So you are Leonardo da Vinci, age 25 in this. That's some, big boots to fill. Tell me about sort of accepting that role.
Accepting it was a no-brainer to accept it, but you're right, filling the boots are hard because so many people have expectations of who he should be and what he means to them. Mm-hmm. But what's interesting is that to the majority of the public, Leonardo da Vinci is a sort of old man with a beard sat in his attic drawing paintings and actually David did a load of research originally about what he was like, and he was kind of a rock star at the time. He was the biographies that existed at the time wrote up these incredible things about him. About one guy said he could bend bars with his bare hands, and someone else said he could ride horses through the town, and everyone was in awe of his physicality, and that's not something that we know or think or assume. So we see something like this and think, hold on, are you taking liberties? But actually, no.
He's kind of a swashbuckler. Yeah. Like he could be a pirate or something. He's got that kind of just, was that your stamp? Was that David's stamp?
Well, it was written that he was, he in the scripts, obviously he gets into scrapes that he gets out of. Yeah. I just wanted to, because he was known to be ambidextrous, and he was known to be a great swordsman, I wanted to make it look as effortless as it could be. So it's all a bit of a pain, and it gets in the way of his day when he's got other things and he's got projects to complete. And so I kind of wanted it to look like something he didn't have to exert himself too hard over. Right. Which consequently is insanely hard to make it look, to stop pulling faces like that when you're trying to fight someone.
Totally. Tell me about his gang. He's got a gang.
He's got a mini gang. He's got a crew. He's got a posse. He's got the Scooby Gang, as David calls them. He's got a guy, one of his best friends called Zoroaster, who's he's linked to the Renaissance underworld, and who's a card player and a card shark, and sort of a slightly dangerous character. Yeah.
And you've got one of the miscreants from Game of Thrones.
We do. He was killed in Game of Thrones, which was fortunate, because that means...
Pretending he was Gendry.
Yeah, so we got to bring him over and put his head back on, or whatever. No, how did he die?
He was speared.
He was speared, wasn't he? Yeah, he was speared. So we took the spear out and we just cleaned him up, and now he's in ours, playing Nico,
Getting speared in the hand in this one.
Yeah.
So he seems to like the ladies, also likes the guys. We need a lot of romance.
Throughout the season there's loads, and he was a guy, it's fascinating, there's a lot of speculation about who he was and who he liked and his sexuality, and that's something that we try and pay service to. We're certainly not going to ignore it. Right. Unfortunately, a lot of that's wrapped into a really important plot point, and if I reveal too much it will spoil it.
Dun, dun, dun.
But it's certainly something we didn't want to ignore, because it's fascinating. It adds to the torment, especially at that time.
Hopefully I won't butcher the name, but how much trouble is Riario?
Bang on, you got it right.
Gonna bring, because you guys do encounter each other, and he is very unforgiving.
He's very unforgiving. Well, he's got a very singular purpose. He's very led by religion, and God is his leader, and he follows him to the gates of hell. But Leonardo, on the other hand, is quite empirical and scientific, and although at the time it wasn't a respected thing to do, he was quite humanist, so he didn't necessarily believe in the things that Riario believes. Yeah. So their worldviews are very different, but actually personality-wise they're quite similar. So watching them bounce off each other is really cool. So will we see them, will that be kind of the main conflict then through the course of season 1? There's going to be lots of conflicts, various people, but Riario is certainly...
the main foe?
He's a big foe, but he works for other people who work for other people who work for other people. It's a dark, shadowy affair.
All right. Your boss has written many, many screenplays for some of the most amazing superheroes of all time. Do you ever ask him about any of that kind of stuff?
All the time, yeah, of course.
Do you have some scoop on Superman then?
I know everything. I'll tell you the baddie. No, I know nothing. He's really good about it, actually.
Is he?
Yeah, there are certain things that he says, if I mention that, Chris Nolan will kill me if I bring that. But even in his drunkest moments, he hasn't said a word, so I admire him for that.